Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time? 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now. 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds. Where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow. Come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering. Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time? 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now. 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds. Where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow. Come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time? 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now. 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds. Where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow. Come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering. Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now, 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds, where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow, come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering.
Ten years, you say. 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food pan we plate. People are suffer while Andrew live great. Hey, hey. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through and left the people bare. 6 months later, them still out there, asleep under the air. Their JLP friends, them build high rise, road still full of hope. A house pocket to a field, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, picnic can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you and Juliet well fed. You always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in a politics we ever see. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know, hear us. We are not on the door. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness, time to go. Farmer can't afford to plant food, price reach the sky. You're bringing the poverty while your own people cry. We born ya, we grow ya, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top won't extend the man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan, but 10 years later we still can't understand. Corruption report land and nobody charge. The people pocket small but the scandal them large. Who's crack up parish council bro? Country suffocate done and it just smoke. And when we raise the voice so call we political, but the truth is the truth and the truth is biblical. Time to go. The people, them say no. We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not on the door. Time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Time to go. We no want no hype, we no want no speech. We want action, no, not the lies you preach. Hurricane victims still under tarpaulin. Prime Minister fly gone foreign. Your JLP cabinet full, but the people cupboard empty. How you live so large when we live in so scanty? Not with fists, not with fire, but we voice them rising higher and higher. From every parish, every yard, every gate, Jamaica speaking and I know too late. Time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not on the door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Time to go. This one is for every Jamaican. What can afford feet? We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road. The people don't forget. The people don't forgive. Enough is enough. Jamaicans will live.
Good afternoon. We're listening, watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Make We Talk program this evening. Jamaicans from all walks of life, from Nickel Point to Moran Point, the Jamaicans in the diaspora, Jamaicans in Germany, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Jamaicans in South Africa. The time has come for all of us to take a stand in what we believe in. The time has come from all of us to tell our friends and family back home, tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day that we take a stand and say no more to corruption, no more to nepotism, no more to cronyism, no more to the injustice of our people. We need to know where Hurricane Melissa money is. Babsy Grange, we need to know where Hurricane Melissa money is. Andrew Michael Brogard Holness, Andrew Wheatley. The time has come from all of us to stand up in this country. This evening we're going to have my special guest. Well, my co-host will be none other than my brother, my friend, Wilfred Samuel Rattigan, the man who hail from Waterhouse, the man who knows what it's like to go to bed and only eat dumpling and banana, or dumpling and butter just like myself, and a tin mackerel. He'll be my co-host this evening. My special guest will be Miss Kay Osborne, former managing director or general manager of Television Jamaica. She will be my special guest this evening. We're going to speak about what is going on in Jamaica. Daryl Vaz, we need to know where the bus money is. And before we welcome our good friend Wilfred Radigan, we got to play this one once more before we come on air and speak to the people. Those who on TikTok, my TikTok family, come on, man, give me some more likes. My TikTok family, give me some more likes. Come on, we need some more likes on TikTok. Here we go. Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now. 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds. Where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow. Come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering. This is a peaceful gathering. This is not sponsored by any political party in Jamaica. This is not sponsored by no PNP, no JLP, no UIC, no WCBC, no Never Dare Move. This is sponsored by the people, of the people, and for the people of Jamaica. Out of many one people we are. Those who are on transport group, let me make it clear to you this afternoon. Get in the cabeza. This protest is not sponsored by no orange, no green. They have been wrecking this country for far too long. And the time has come for all of us to stand up in this country. This is sponsored by the people, for the people, and of the people of Jamaica.
Shining home.
There you have it. So Jamaicans from all walks of life, Jamaicans from Negril Point to Moron Point, let me know in the chat room if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Let us welcome our fearless leader, the man who has been championing the cause for this country, the man who continues to fight for this country, my co-host, my brother and my friend, Wilfred Radigan. Welcome to the program, sir. Mr. Ratigan?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
No, we have some technical difficulties here. Kevin is working them out.
Okay, let me just... Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. We'll just continue talking then. Let me make this clear to the people who are on the platform and those who are listening to us. Jamaicans, you have been saying that you need something to do. The time is now for us to rally around a single cause and a single purpose. And this is the time. This protest, I'll make it absolutely clear once more. This protest is not sponsored by any political party in Jamaica. It's not sponsored by no political gangs of the parliament of this country. This protest is sponsored by the people, of the people, for the people. I was sponsored by. So let's make this absolutely clear this afternoon. That no one must think that this is a PNP motivated protest. Hell no. It's a protest sponsored for the people. The poor people who are in the tarpaulin down in St. Elizabeth. The poor people of Perth in St. Elizabeth, they want to thief their lands. We want to know where Hurricane Melissa money is. The poor people of Western Westmoreland. The poor people of Eastern Westmoreland. The poor people of Hanover, St. James and Trelawney. This protest is for them and the entire Jamaica who call themselves patriotic Jamaicans. Now call themselves no die-hearted comrade or die-hearted shower. We're die-hearted Jamaicans. And this protest is for the Jamaican people, not for any political party. Make it absolutely clear for those who believe that this is for some political gain. Because you have some Jacobe who believe that the protest happen is a PNP do it or a JLP do it. And if you come on here and talk, go where Ratigan all dirty comrade or Jeffrey all dirty comrade. I'm going to make something clear to you. I keep on saying on this platform here. The two political gangs in this country, what have they done for the people of this country? If you check up the amount of money that is being sniffling off, mismanagement by the two political parties, couldn't build how much the hospital give us. But no, we must believe that we are some part of some dynasty. Part of a dynasty tonight. So I call on Jamaicans from Negril Point to Moran Point. Get up. This is the opportune time for you to go out there peacefully and send a clear message to this corrupt regime. Send a clear message to those who are in authority in this country that no more will we stand idly by and allow you to continue the way you're continuing. No more will we stand by and allow you to take donor funds and do what you feel like to do with it. No more. No more will you stand by, or will we stand by and allow you to take us for a bunch of kunumuno as if we can't read and we can't write. No more. Let us play this once more before we go and get Mr. Ratigan to come on. One more. Hold on for me, please. Play back this video again. This is why we're here tonight. Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now, 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds, where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow, come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering.
O Lord, and I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the strength and vigor of my body. Mr. Article, I'm very ready for us to let us know as we stand by here this afternoon to speak about our nation, Jamaica.
Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now, 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds, where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow, come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back, everyone, to the Make We Talk program. As we're standing by to join our special guest and our co-host, it is now 8:06, 7:06 in Jamaica. We're speaking about the plans for tomorrow, protests. We're going to speak about also Jamaicans who are facing so many things happening in our country. And Jamaicans decide that they will not stand by anymore. This is a time for all of us. The diaspora has done it. And in solidarity of everything tomorrow, I'm asking Jamaicans in the diaspora to wear yellow rather. Jamaicans in the diaspora to wear yellow. Those in South Africa, those in Namibia, those in Nigeria, Jamaicans from all walks of life around the globe. If you're listening to us, and I know this program is all the way in Ghana, the Jamaicans in Ghana, and all over the place, wear yellow tomorrow. The yellow is a part of our flag. It's not a part of any political party. It's a part of the Jamaican flag. So all Jamaicans wear yellow tomorrow. I'm not at home, so I hope I can find a yellow shirt somewhere to buy that I can wear it tomorrow. But I'm asking Jamaicans, please, show solidarity, show respect for this nation. Stand up for what you believe in. Don't stand for a political party. Don't stand for politics. Stand for this country. And if you truly love Jamaica, then let's put away the politics and stand up for this nation of ours that we believe in. It's a time that all of us must stand up. All of us must stand up. And the time is now. Not tomorrow, not some future years, but now. Tomorrow is the day. But let's start standing from tonight. Let's do it for our brothers and sisters. Let's do it for our children. One politician have $160-something million that he can't tell where he get the money from. 1.4 billion is taken away from the people of this country to buy some old dilapidated buses. Not to mention how much money has gone missing from the health sector, from the pandemic that happened in this country. But many of us, all we can think about is the color orange or the color green. No more. Absolutely no more. We must stand and to what we believe in. We must stand for this country. Don't stand for any political party, but stand for what we truly believe in, because we believe in Jamaica. I think I've seen another guest. Rosemary is in. Hi, Rosemary. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you? Thank you very much. I'm doing fine. We just finished screaming for the Germany game, of course.
Yes.
Of course, unfortunately, we didn't advance. But it's sport. It's football.
It is. Welcome to the program. We're waiting on our good friend Rattigan to come on. Oh, there he is. My co-host for tonight.
Rose, we see your holy heart when you see me. How you doing?
Rattigan.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
Apologize. No, I have a voice because we're coming from a Jamaica link up in the diaspora here in Germany. And it was this weekend. And so we had football before and also football tonight. So, but we always have voice for Jamaica, right?
Let me just say, not condolences, but sorry for the German team. And also sorry for the Guadeloupe, team Guadeloupe.
feel that we were robbed a goal, but as you know, all's fair in football, or not fair, but we have to accept at the end the referee's decision. Although I know they're going to be discussing and they're going to be tearing this apart. Of course, it's now 11 minutes after 2 my time. So, we've been up for a while with all this energy for football. And then, yeah, now for getting ready for our protest tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, I watched the game and I was thinking about you, and I was wishing and hoping that the German team would pull through. And
Uh,
we thought they had the goal almost at the end of regulation, no extra time with that header. But
yes,
then they said there was a foul. So it is what it is.
yes. But I think penalty shoot, I really feel it does, I guess it's a lot of nerves and all of that. And the guy who shot the goal, Mr. Ta, that they disqualified, he actually, I think he got nervous and yeah, the ball didn't even go into the goal. So, yes, I know he must be feeling bad tonight, but yeah, there are going to be so many discussions on this.
Right. Well, don't feel too bad. One of my teams got knocked out today. Japan. I was
Japan,
picking Japan to beat Brazil, but they lost. Yeah. But just for the record, my team, my number one team, Spain. My number one team is Spain. Followed by what the thing I name? I like Brazil, but I don't think that they're playing. I don't think that they're playing well enough to win it. I
right.
also like Argentina. On France. My top two teams, France and Spain. Spain being number one. Yeah.
Boy, I know that it'd be nice to have it all come to Europe, but I am rooting really to see even one of the African teams in the finals.
Mhm.
About time,
Yes.
What them say no rules. Them say the game is not played on paper, it's played on the field. And any card can play. Because you will see
Yes.
what happened with Germany today, because Germany was the overwhelming favorite.
Yeah.
Yes. Jenny people, as we talk about sports, it's good to talk about sports because sports bring people together.
Yes.
Let us speak about what we have plans for tomorrow. As our nation feel the pangs of corruption and nepotism. Now, I will go further and say this: from 1962 until now, we, the Jamaican people, have been facing politicians who believe that they pay us, we don't pay them. And they will come and disrespect us and say that we're dumb, dark, and stupid. And yet they can't tell us where $1.4 billion is. But we are telling you tonight that tomorrow is the day. Jamaicans, is the time for you to come out and show your forces if you believe in this country. Before I go any further, I want to invite my friend Wilfred Radigan to take over. Rose, welcome to the program. Mr. Radigan, take over for me for a couple of minutes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Folks, we have been criticizing bad governance now for quite some time. And we've tried, at least in the United States, we've had 4 protests in, I think it was 2024. Time flies by.
Yes.
We had one in Miami, 2 in New York, and 1 in Washington, and we had a conference up in Canada. And we've been bombarding our people with facts, not fiction, about the corruption. Many of you have come to the understanding that what we're talking about is real and true. Some of you, though, have been in denial. And even when presented with an abundance of facts, you have chosen to look elsewhere. And you've supported the government. Not so sure if you're supporting what the government is doing, because we can make that distinction, but you've supported the government. And there's nothing wrong with supporting the government. But you can't separate the government from the actions of the government. And what we're saying is what they've done over the past 10 years have not inured to the benefit of the Jamaican people at home and abroad. And we can talk about the abroad thing, especially since Rose and I, we live in the diaspora. But we've looked at the manifestos, which is a broad brush painting of what the government intends to do if elected. And we looked at the 2016, we looked at the 2020, we looked at the 2025, and by and large, they're the same. They've just repackaged some of these promises. And I'm not talking about minor, tiny promises. I'm talking about significant promises. And for some reason, people of Jamaica, no, I shouldn't say that. The voters, the ones who voted, no, they seem to believe otherwise. It's almost like they're saying, I don't believe my lying eyes. They don't believe what they're seeing. They don't believe what they're feeling. They don't believe what they're hearing. And one of the complaints we have heard from Jamaicans in Jamaica and abroad is that, yeah, you people on social media want to talk, but you don't do anything. No talk. And my dear friend Jeffrey Tavares has been a proponent of the idea that the Jamaicans in Jamaica should get up and do something. It shouldn't be just people overseas. And unfortunately, we've seen where people in Jamaica tried to do something and it just didn't garner the support. Case in point, do you remember when the Prime Minister and the government increased the wages of parliamentarians by 200% plus? And what did they do with the civil servants? They increased it by 20%. And I remember that Advocates Network, Andre Stevens, and a host of people tried to get a protest. And it was just a handful of people, nothing near what we expected. We expected a mass turnout because that was an issue affecting the population at large. It wasn't just affecting just one set of people. Exactly. And very few people showed up. It was disappointing. And from time to time, we've seen where people tried to do things in Jamaica and it just didn't get the support that we all anticipated. When we said, okay, let's have a entertainment, people go borrow money to go and be entertained. And we know it and we see it. In fact, there have been some businesses built on that where you can go and you can borrow money to go Dream Weekend, or you can go watch this artist, that artist, and you can borrow money and people show up en masse. But if you ask them to show up for something that is directly affecting their condition, people won't show. And your excuses like, well, I'm afraid. You know what, my name on this. Another case in point, we started the Magnitsky petition and we said, look, we need mass signature. We need a lot of people to sign this so we can take it to the pertinent authorities, international authorities, and have them look at this. And it's been now over, the Magnitsky has been out now about 2 years. And I don't think we have 5,000 signatures. I don't think we have 5,000 signatures. Unfortunately, Marvin Edgar, he started a protest. He started a petition a few weeks ago, and he's amassed about 35,000. And it's essentially the same thing as the Magnitsky, and we support what he's doing, and we will continue to support what he's doing in order to get the issues before the relevant authorities, relevant structures, so that they can start asking the hard questions. And it has to do with support, because see, when somebody is feeding you, they can tell you what to do, when to do it. If they're not, and if they're not united as a diaspora, because we have remittances, but we're not united, we're fractured. And so they take advantage of that. They drive this wedge. It was only today, Grace, Rose, only today I got a call from a gentleman in the diaspora who was complaining about one of the representatives, that the only thing that representative is concerned about is rubbing shoulders with government officials, getting invited to the parties, but
Right.
no interest in what we're doing.
Yes.
And so that, folks, that brings me to the protest tomorrow. And Rose is here. She'll shed a lot more light than I can on this. Um, we're hoping that we have a large turnout. And I've mentioned to Rose and others that I just hope that this is not a one-off, that this will continue, because we support this, and we intend to support it going forward. So without further ado, let me introduce Rose to all of you. Well, I mean, if I introduce Rose to you, I know Rose already. So Rose is a proud Jamaican flying the flag in Germany. Um, but not just in Germany, Rose has connections all over Europe. And as you can see, she's a very radiant, look on her smile, radiant, radiant. She's just very warm, very inviting, very easy to talk to. And not only that, Rose has a wealth of knowledge, and you will always learn when you sit and you talk to her, because believe me, she will present some points that you've never thought about. And I can attest to that. So without further ado, my sister, Rose, big up yourself. Welcome.
It's thank you for the introduction. Is learning and we learn from each other. It's a lifelong journey of learning, and we have so many people before us who have been doing the work of advocacy in terms of wanting change for a better, especially as it relates to improving the lives of our Jamaican people and making sure that they get to benefit from the profits, or they get to benefit from all that is good in their country. Will, I want to thank you for the work that you do. I want to thank um, all of you who are doing work to talk about Jamaica and to talk about what's going on and to educate and to get the dialogue going, because, with each other, and when we can agree to disagree, and when we can share, then we're not going to kill each other because we're angry with each other, or we can't tolerate that someone else might have a different opinion than ourselves. I like the introduction you made, Will, and I liked how you mentioned the Advocates Network. Today, I am here as one of the directors of the Advocates Network that is based abroad. And I'll tell you a little bit more about us, but it was the Advocates Network that spearheaded the demonstration against the salary increases, 213% or more, that government or that parliamentarians gave to themselves. And we knew at the time, we asked about it. We heard from our finance minister at the time that the country could afford it. But when you look at it now, we still can't pay our doctors right now. So, when you look at where we spend and how we spend and how much we spend, it says a lot about what we place priority on. The things that improve the daily lives of Jamaicans, I feel a lot of times they get the shortfall. I hear the talk of prosperity and of building, and we want to be like Dubai, but we still need an ambulance at each hospital to save lives. We still need doctors. There's so many things. We are children. I assist children, some children in Jamaica, to get school lunches per week, and that's a lot of what the diaspora contributes. So I think we have to have some fair conversation and some honest conversation about what's going on. The Advocates Network that I represent is a group of various uh, I would say, civil society, social groups that have come together to form this network. Where we advocate for good governance, for integrity, for transparency in government, and we want to see all the goals fulfilled. Where Jamaica becomes a place where people want to live and do business and thrive, and raise our families, and then retire, and feel safe, and we love Jamaica. That's why we do the work that we do, because naturally we have other things to do, but we are committed people to our countries, primarily because that we know that we can do better.
Yeah, I was gonna start out by asking you to tell the folks what exactly is Advocates Network, what you did.
Right.
So let me move on to, unless you want to add something else to.
I'd like to add something, because I would like to go over some of the things that the Advocates Network has done. We really came together when that Mr. Wrong was caught beating his wife, or not wife, then girlfriend, with a chair. Most of us saw that video and literally thought that woman was going to be beaten to death. And so we came together in protest because we were sort of together people like Dr. Hamilton and Patricia Phillips, and all those people who came together at the time. Robert Stevens, I think it was, quite a number of people in Jamaica who were also advocating, the women who were advocating against gender based violence and cruelty to our women. And so we came together at that time on that main topic. So um, we know that the minister was, sort of shunned in Parliament. However, we didn't see the changes that we need, but we did do our protests. We brought a lot of attention to the matter, and we were on the streets in different parishes demonstrating against this in black. Right?
Mhm.
We through the leadership of other members, came together and protested the visit of the prince to Jamaica at the time with his wife, because we knew that, who was paying for this,
Mm.
what were they doing there? So we joined other islands that protested this. And as you know, many people came out and protested this, his visit, and even the role, the mere fact that, we are still answering to a king. That time too, the theme about being a republic came about. Will, and I'd like to bring it to your attention, these are all peaceful demonstrations, as you can know. And we presented a letter, Dr. Hamilton and a few others presented a letter to the British High Commissioner stating our what we were protesting against. It was at that time also that we came up with the 60 reasons for reparations. We had the international press covering this. Why we would like to have reparations, and it stated all the cases. A very good document. I did the voiceover, and it's also on YouTube. So that's something that we can revert to in the archives to get background, because these things are based on facts. It's not just people running their mouths off. We have many qualified, competent, well-meaning people who are tied to party politics in our group, that want to make sure that people are informed and that we're having this kind of conversation. You will also remember that we were the ones, when it came to time for constitutional change or discussions about changing the constitution, that Mrs. Mallow, who fought, made this announcement, and then we wrote to her to find out when are they going to have the educational sessions that Jamaicans can, start having a dialogue about this. We did not wait. We formed groups of, or we encouraged people to talk with each other, talk about this. What would you like to see? How would you like us to approach this? What are the changes? You read the Constitution, that kind of a thing. And what we did was we encouraged schools, started the debate, and all of these debates with the schools are online, about to be a republic or not to be a republic, right?
Mhm.
Moving away from the constitution and stuff, but with the republic. And we joined with the Jamaica Debating Society, and that was phenomenal. We got people talking about it, opening up the discussion about it, because one of the things that we know will is that, democracies function. It was Socrates who said, well, he doesn't think that, democracies are going to function well, because how can you ask people to make a decision about something about which they're not well informed?
Mm,
So is in the interest of governments who do not want their population to make good decisions, to not inform them or roll out. We're still waiting for the education program regarding not only the Constitution, but the Republic discussion, because it's all tied together. Um, you know, to roll that education program. They had a few town hall meetings, and we're saying we are thankful for that.
mm.
Something, but let's do it in each parish. Let's really roll it out. Let's really be open about that discussion, right? The Advocates Network, Dr. Hamilton was invited to present the things in the Constitution that she would like, or that the organization would like to see amended or changed, like set election, for example, like the possibility to impeach any government, any, your prime minister, for example, just things that could be set in the, and it's a whole host of other things. So advocacy works in the sense that, you create information, you work on things, we achieve things over a period of time. And there are many other things that we have. The salary increase, for example, we brought a lot of attention to it. We were the only group in Jamaica that led demonstrations, and it lasted for more than 17 days. We stuck with it, even when it was only a few people. But what we experienced was that at the demonstration, we would have people participate. And at the beginning, we had some government workers who participated, and they informed us that they could not join us again, even though it was during their lunchtime period, because they were asked not to. So, your question about why Jamaicans are not standing up, yes. Many of them are afraid, not afraid of only violence or being targeted, but they're afraid of their jobs, right? And they're also um maybe that's one thing, the fear, right? The other things, cost, and so on. I know many people who would like to be there tomorrow that can't, but they can't afford it because they're coming from distances, or they would have to miss that time at work, or and the other part of it, I think, apart from just that, many people are saying, well, why should I even demonstrate? Because government is government, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. And I think if Jamaicans take that attitude, it means that the power that do not want them to let their voices be heard, then they would have won. They would have defeated the Jamaican people, or the Jamaicans who have given up, and that is what we do not want. And so it takes me to the fact of standing up, of making sure that your voices can be heard, not to give up. I know I've been speaking a while, so I'll make sure that you get to break it up and put your questions in, Will, as you wish.
No,
Ab-
no worries. No worries. The platform is geared for information, and I suspect that some people don't know what the Advocates Network is and what it's about. And I think it's a worthwhile exercise for you to explain to them what exactly you're doing, who you are, and what you expect to achieve. So I want to thank you for explaining that to folks. If
right.
they have any questions, they can just drop it in the chat. I can't see the chat. I'm hoping Jeffrey will come back and we'll examine the chat to see if there are any questions concerning Advocates Network itself, so that
Right.
we can answer those questions.
I'm Will, let me say that we do write a lot of articles, right? We try to make sure that we comment on things and take our stand. For example, our newest press release addressed the Prime Minister's comments that were made regarding those of us who are supporting well, it goes back to the NARA bill. We said that we had some ideas and supported other civil society groups like JET and others who had some clarifications they wanted, adjustments they wanted, and so on in the in the NARA bill. What happened was we were depicted as being politically associated, and standing in the way of progress and not wanting to see help go to the Melissa victims. And that's very offensive. So we answered in please, where we said one should lead the Jamaican people deliberately. The civil society groups that came out that were asking about anything with NARA and to add anything, they were asking for a more accountability in the bill. For example, if you're going to be accepting bids, and these are the things that it should be based on, and what if those things are not followed? What is the consequence? Something very simple that I use as an example. Reports are to be done by the CEO. What if those reports are not done? They are not done on time, and so on and so forth. What are the mechanisms within this bill? Because it handles, it's about billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And there's got to be accountability. And one of the goals of the Advocates Network is we are always striving for and asking government for accountability, because after all, the American people are the ones who the government works for. And we have seen that it's a fact. This is not me saying anything that's wrong. It's a fact that politicians in our country, they profit from being politicians. And the Jamaican people, to a great extent, do not benefit from, or how they should benefit from let's say the riches of the country, or things that are the spoils of the country. It's very uneven how that is dispersed, and how these systems that are in place to work. So we were asking for accountability, and we were then told that we were standing in the way. In fact, we are not, the troublesome was not the word, but ignorant, and things like that were the words that were used. And I think that was quite horrible and needed some clarification. So we wrote an article asking for that. Will, you might know that most of us in the Advocates Network and other civil society groups, we were getting assistance to Jamaicans who suffered from Melissa even before anybody else could. For example, the government. We can make a list of the things that we've done, emergency supplies that was delivered, and a big part of that came from the diaspora. An affiliate, an organization, an activity that we got involved. It raised roughly about $1 million that was able to help a mother of twins in Trelawney, I think it was, who her cook shop broke down, so we could help her to build that back through the Laska Chin Foundation, because we try to funnel the money where we can see transparency at work, and we can tell our donors this is what it was used for. And when you go to Jamaica, you can go and check it out for yourself. And we get updated reports and so on. So it was very offensive. So Advocates Network does that in terms of responding. We try not to be too reactive, but we have, it's how there's so much going on. So that's what we do. We give our opinions, or we take our stands on different things that are happening in our country of concern to the Jamaican people. Or every day it seems like there's a crisis. However, we deal with facts and try to get the facts and ask for, again, everything being based on good governance, integrity, transparency. Yeah.
Okay. It's a mouthful there, but I'm sure people they have absorbed everything that you're saying. Let me ask you this: Advocates Network. It's comprised of people from different fields, and
Yeah.
it's non-political, and there are people in Jamaica, there are people outside of Jamaica. But every now and again, you'll hear somebody say, "Oh, them people, them never hear about them yet." And I'm glad that you took the time to explain all the things that you've done. You meaning the collective.
And
That
there's more that I yeah,
right.
go. Yes.
But what I'm thinking, is there a plan to broaden the awareness of Advocates Network? Because it would appear to me as if some people know about Advocates Network and some people don't. Is there a plan to get to the people who don't know about Advocates Network?
Yes. So the work in progress. Will, as you know, all of us who are involved in tons of other organizations.
Mhm.
As the same people who are standing and who are working and putting in the effort, right, and putting in the work. And it's always a challenge. However, we're trying to win over a lot of more young people. Right now, even as we speak, we're trying to set up our Instagram, Facebook, our social network handles, and it's been a challenge because we're coping with this cycle of what's happening in our country, right? It's there's so many issues going on, and we're doing the articles and we're reaching out and we're so there's a lot of things to do, and we're looking for people who would like to commit to assist. Even as we talk about going to demonstrations, who are the people that are going to stand there with us? So, of course, we need more people to join, to become interested in supporting our group. And like I said, one of the organizations that we support a lot and that supports Advocates Network a lot and other civil society groups is JAMP. Now, JAMP is a formidable organization in Jamaica with its very competent and forthcoming CEO, Jeanette Calder. And Jeanette educates us all on so many things. Because even last night, I was on a program where we were talking about between elections, can people, voters, be able to have conversations or get in touch with their MPs? Of course. JAMP, if you go to the JAMP website, it's a Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, and it is an excellent website. Jeanette sometimes I do programs to show you how to use it. And again, a lot of people know about it, many people don't. So a part of our work as Advocates Network is to make sure that the things that are working and are there to give information and to assist, that we also help to publicize that in our work. So you can go there and get the name of your MP, how you can contact them, you can write letters, etc. There's a Freedom to Information Act that works. Miss Calder can ask for particular information about whatever, and it should be given to her within a certain time. That's made available on the portal when they look at things that are going on, etc. And they keep real track of issues that are going on. So yes, with the more we know about these things, it emboldens us to get the facts, right? Because we do not want to talk off the top of our heads. We want to make sure that we are getting the right information.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned JAMP, because we have we have, I wouldn't say a collaboration, but we get along extremely well. Meaning the Reason with Rattigan and the Come Reason with Rattigan and the Jeffrey Tavares is we get along very well with Jeanette, and she's she's unafraid, she's courageous, she's knowledgeable, she's intelligent, and you're correct. People should visit the website because there's a ton of information there. And
Wow.
if you're looking for information coming from ATI, in fact, we've even done a presentation where we show people how they can file their access to information through JAM's website and
And
how. No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. And you mentioned something about Jeanette, but that's what we're all trying to do, Will, is that in our advocacy, we want to be respectful. We want to give the right information, right? We want to take our stand and be able to communicate it in such a way that people understand that this would be the case, whoever is in government, because advocacy means working towards change for the better, right? You're
Mhm.
advocating for something that means that you're actively talking about it. You're standing up for it. You are informing about it. You are defending it, you know? And so if you're advocating for change, especially for good governance, for integrity in government, for transparency, years ago, and you can advocate for all kinds of things. Or voting rights that we have right now would not have been achieved if it weren't for advocates, some of them who put their lives on the line. I mean, one of the greatest advocates in her way was Nanny of the Maroons. She fought. That was a warrior queen. So you can see that even how we do advocacy over the years, it takes all kinds of forms, right?
Right.
But we're living in the world today when a lot of advocacy is on the keyboards, but that's a part of the whole thing too. But I feel that whenever physical bodies are there, that's a different level, a more significant level of showing courage and of showing your belief in something, because you're taking the time to take the stand with others, to be there, to express what it is you are protesting or you're advocating for.
Speaking of advocacy, let's get to the protest tomorrow. Tell us, please tell us why and why now.
Okay. So without uh, going into, this protest is, let me first of all say thank you to the wonderful Kay Osborne. I think, why am I thinking, almost forgetting Kay's last name, but Kay is a journalist. She is a very well respected Jamaican. And I would like to just bring this up right now. This protest is taking place now because there's several things that have happened that have brought it to a head. On the list where the flyer is, it talks about, I think, the NARA bill, the thing with Mr. Wheatley, where the Integrity Commission, and it's not the first time, has found this person to be questionable in terms of their income, yes. And we're still having this person still in government, and our head of our country still standing with him, and how this is handled, and the Jamaican people just have to take it. We are now hearing that there's a deal, some MOU that has been signed, that the Jamaican people do not have access to, have no idea about, that we're supposed to in total over a period of time receive 10,000 people from third countries that are going to be coming into our country. And it's just sometimes we don't know what is the truth. We hear the spin, and so on. And so people are at the point now where they're saying, stop. We do not like what's going on. We do not like how you're communicating with us and how you're managing us. Um, we are protesting these things. We need good governance. We need integrity. We need transparency and all those things that are going to make sure that, we've hired a government, and we want that government to continue in a democratic way, and to be able to involve us, in some of these decisions, or at least, even if the decisions have been made, let's say there was a process, let's say they were forced to do something, come clean, let us know what to expect. How are we gonna deal with this, so I want to go back.
But before you do that, Rosemary, I do apologize. Sorry about that. I see where Miss Kay Asburn is on. She
Yes,
is the former managing director of Radio Jamaica, journalist
yes,
in her own right, a Jamaican who continued to fight for the poor people of this country, a woman who stand tall in Jamaica, a woman who continue to speak her mind.
Yes.
Doesn't matter where it is. She speaks her mind, and I hope she's there with us. Miss Kay Osborne?
No, Jeffrey,
Go ahead.
I think she must have gotten a phone call because
Okay.
she dropped off. Yeah.
But
Yes, yes.
can
Go
I
ahead.
say something about Kay? Can I just say something, Jeffrey?
Go ahead.
What is so poignant? Kay is an individual, and Kay had an idea, and Kay, she's retired, right? And Kay had the guts to seek out others, to organize. And so many people in Jamaica and abroad, even those who can't be with her, are gonna be standing with her. So the next time one of us think that our voice does not count, even just look at this simple example. We might not have 1 million people show up, right? But if we have people show up, any amount of people show up, our persons showing up in person, we know we're going to get their support in other ways. But this is one person galvanizing and getting help and reaching out. So it shows the power of one. We can, in our own ways as individuals, make a difference. And I think we sometimes we feel disillusioned and we feel really lost, and hopeless. But I want to say to everyone that this is an example, of a case where, let your voices be heard.
Hmm.
Will?
Yeah. What do you what do you hope to achieve with the beyond the obvious? Beyond the obvious. What do you hope to achieve with this protest tomorrow? And here's why I'm asking. I'm asking and at the same time hoping that it's not a one-off because the government, they don't mind a one-off because a one-off is going to be a 9-day wonder. And they say, yeah, let them go ahead and protest. Fine. Next week, people will forget about it. Something else will come up. But if it's a sustained effort, they're worried about that. They become very, very worried because when you start talking about galvanizing people, there's no better way to do it than have a sustained effort at
Right,
getting people's attention.
right,
And so so the question I'm asking is kind of like, will there be another one after tomorrow? And tomorrow, what do you hope to get the government's attention at some way, shape, or form? What about the people? And again, it's a multi-layered question because the reason why I'm asking that is we've seen incidents where people showed up for marches, rallies, protests, and then when they were asked, well, why are you here? They couldn't answer. They couldn't provide. They couldn't provide an answer that would sufficiently indicate to people that yes, they know why they're here and it makes sense. So
right,
one is about getting the people prepared. One is getting the people there. One is getting the message across to the government, and one is how do we continue with that message with the people and the government to make change.
right. So that there are lots of parts to that. Will, let me try to see if I can answer all of your questions. So you mentioned about what we hope to gain, right? Well, let's just start. People being informed and being there, but that's the process, right? There are many people who probably don't know what's going on, but there are many people who know what's going on. They might not know the details of everything. Some people, when I talk to people, they'll just say, Lord, me tired. Me just tired of everything.
Mhm.
And so that's just how they see it in a whole thing. But when there are issues, that are being addressed, right? Not only them, because people feel the people are coming to protest, would be people who are a little bit, at least a little bit aware of what's going on. yes, the preparation in terms of the discussion. I don't like to call it preparation. I like to call it the discussion about what's going on, because we can't tell people how to feel, right? But we can have a discussion, we can talk with them. That's why I said on another show that one of the goals of even coming together, someone might say, me know say it no right, we are gone, but maybe they don't know details. At our protests. You get to network. The idea is that you will meet other people. We will then build on that. How often it continues and so on, it's probably not clear yet, and I'd have to confirm more with Kay regarding that. But what we do know as Advocates Network is that we share those same concerns, and we're asking for good governance. We want integrity. We're asking for transparency, et cetera, et cetera. And we are standing with Miss Osborne and everybody else and all the other organizations that are going to be there in support of that. What is success, will you ask? What? So what? So we meet and we protest. What are we hoping for? Well, we're hoping that the demonstration and the protest will also help to galvanize the interest of others who probably would not have been interested in knowing, oh, what's going on, why, and so on and so forth, right? Because that's also a way to spread information about what we're doing. Second thing, of course, we want our government to notice. Whenever there are protests like this, we want all the powers that be, whichever P it is, and for them to understand that advocacy, protest is not just to be a needle, or to be a bother to you. It's the people crying out. It's the people speaking to you saying, we're not being heard. We don't like what's going on. And I am imploring my government, because we have to have respect for our government. Whether or not it's the party that some of us chose or not, it is the government and should be for all of the Jamaican people. So I'm begging my prime minister to listen, give it an ear. Start the dialogue, whatever it is you need to do. Listen to what people are unhappy about. And there's still a chance to mend some of these things, because we have to go forward as Jamaicans. We're not looking to have a failed democracy. And so, even though I hear people saying, oh, at the PNP them and at the people them we want to make trouble, why standing up and protesting and saying something about what you'd like to change? To have your government respect you, to inform you, to work with you, to make sure that the people of Jamaica are benefiting from whatever decisions that are being made. We are being called inefficient. Well, as far as I know, if you're the head of the house, what are your strategies to make Jamaicans more efficient? Because let's not forget, it's on you're the one ruling, right? It's your government. Where are the ideas to help Jamaicans to be more creative? Or are we just gonna give up on Jamaicans and bring in other talent because we have no skills, so to speak? So those are the things we want to have. And so that's why it's being done, not just to go out and make noise, but we want to show and make a statement that we need you to do something. We need action. We need you to listen. We want to work with you. We want you to work with us, because we highly value our democracy, not only for us, but for the generations to come.
Yes, Mr. Rattigan, before you come in, let me just say something here tonight. This protest mainly for the people who are facing, I love to say, the pans of hell. And it's all Jamaicans, but I'm saying to the people of St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, St. James, we're asking the question, where is Hurricane Beryl money? Where is Hurricane Melissa's money? You have teachers and nurses and elderly people who are still living on the tarpaulins all
Yes,
over this country.
yes,
And that's why we're going out there. This is not about any political party. It's not about any PNP, JLP, UIC, no CR, never dare move. It's about us, the Jamaican people. And it's full time for us to put this country first. And not any political party, because the change that we seek in this country will never come from the two political dynasties in this country, the two political gangs in the parliament. It'll come from us as a people. Mr. Rattigan, over to you, sir.
Yeah, Rosie mentioned about efficiency, and I was about to tell you that we don't have to worry about efficiency in government because it's in the stable and secure hands of Ambassador Audrey Marks, the one who is so efficient that she's taking over the job of Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister Pernell Charles Jr., and Minister, to some degree, Minister Horace Chang. So we're in good hands because, we have an efficient person there. She was so efficient that she was essentially recalled, or not recalled, but removed from the U.S. Under the cover of darkness. So, well, that's another story. But listen, on this past Saturday, I played a video from a South African journalist that I'm just in love with this woman. And she said two things, and I've written them down here, and I'll continue. I said them on Saturday, and I'll continue to say them. She said, look, when you question power, they treat your questions like crimes. Like, how dare you ask us this, And then they move from that to say, when you raise your voice, you're called political. When you raise your voice, you're called political. They don't see it for what it is and say, look, you're failing. And when you criticize government, they're so arrogant and they're so sensitive to criticism that they don't realize that when you criticize at times, you're saying, listen, you're going down the wrong path. Make a course correction because we want you to succeed. A rising tide lifts all ships. And if you can turn around Jamaica, you turn around Jamaica for every Jamaican, not just people who support you politically. And they have to understand that not everyone is going to support them politically, even when they are successful, and we know they're not. But even when you're successful, you're still going to have your detractors. You're still going to have the naysayers. You're still going to have people who, for whatever reason, they won't support you. Even when they're benefiting, they won't support you. But they don't understand that. And I think there's a certain amount of arrogance now that has crept in in a big way over the past 10 years. It wasn't something that just happened. It's over the past 10 years that they feel emboldened to do whatever they want, regardless of the consequences, because they feel like there are no consequences here. I was reading something yesterday as well. And the question was, are all men equal? Are all women equal? And if you wanna find out whether or not that is true, look to Jamaica. And you will see that people are not equal. The laws in Jamaica, they were designed for a certain class and they're applied differently. Case in point, and we'll get to one of the reasons why the protest is taking place tomorrow. Look at Minister Wheatley. There have been adverse findings against him by the Integrity Commission. And they are proposing that he be charged with failing to intentionally filing a false declaration, failing to comply with the request, and illicit enrichment. Right? And we'll look at that, and you'd think that people would say, okay, fine, let him face the bar of justice, come what may. Instead, what we see is people rise up now against the Integrity Commission. Now, I've risen up against the Integrity Commission, but I can point to the reasons why. And I've pointed them out. But what happens is that some of these people, they're quick to say, well, You know, them never prosecute the prime minister. Them let him go. And you say, but wait a minute, it's okay when them do that. But now when them come and say, okay, we need to prosecute Minister Wheatley, you say, no, them not good. Them corrupt. So they corrupt when them let go the prime minister. And I can show you that when the Integrity Commission decided not to prosecute the prime minister for failing to talk about failing to disclose his Scotia accounts, I can show you that they erred. I can show you that it's not even a mistake because he was still transaction business in there between the accounts, and the Integrity Commission came and said, the corruption prosecutor said, I can't prove that he intentionally didn't report it. And he said, but he reported some of the other things. And this was not these are not dormant accounts. He was actively transacting business. So why is it you're going to say, well, okay, he reported it on one hand and we're fine. This time he didn't report it, but we can't really say, well, he intentionally, did it. There are so many things I can raise with Integrity Commission, but this thing about Minister Wheatley, I'm telling people that don't expect the Prime Minister to ask him to resign. For this reason, the Prime Minister himself has and is facing some of those same charges. And if he's asking Minister Wheatley to resign, then he should be the first. He should resign and say, Wheatley, come with me. And the evidence is there. The evidence is there. If they don't believe me, they can go and look at Craig Beresford's affidavit that's filed in court. They can go and look at the corruption prosecutors' declination to prosecute. They can go and look at the Integrity Commission's report. And they can look at what the Prime Minister said about himself. The Prime Minister, he admitted that with Omega Bridge, with the Delido, with Sunshine, with Palladium, with all of these companies, he said, I never tell you that I was making any money. Even though I was making money, I did not declare this. He said it himself. So I tell people, don't come argue with me, argue with the Prime Minister.
Before we go any further, let us welcome her excellent. Well, she don't want to say that.
No, we don't do excellency at all. We want to get rid of the king, remember?
Indeed. Let us welcome Miss Kay Osborne, one of Jamaica's pioneer who stand up for poor people in this country. In her days at Radio Jamaica, and even now, she still does it. Mr. Wilfred Radigan, let us welcome Miss Kay Osborne.
Thank you very much. I actually work for Television Jamaica.
Yes, Television Jamaica.
Former general manager who transformed television to serve the people.
Indeed, indeed.
Ms. Osborne, it's my pleasure and privilege meeting you. I've heard so many wonderful things about you, but it's my first time actually seeing you. And I can tell you that I feel your presence because the things that you're doing and the things that you have done, they appeal to me and they appeal to the common Jamaican. And we want to thank you for all the things that you've done. We want to thank you for what you're doing and what you will continue to do. And we hope and pray that the Almighty will continue to bless you with good health.
I have been very blessed, and my blessings started in Jamaica. And what I have accomplished, I spent many decades in the United States. And what I accomplished there could not have been accomplished if Jamaica had not nurtured me. And so what I'm doing now is give back.
You know, that's an excellent point because I say the same thing. I come from Waterhouse. I used to go to a little school near Balmaji. And had it not been for my community and those dedicated teachers and concerned and dedicated parents, I would not be where I am today because they set the foundation. Right? And I'm sure Rosemary feels the same way about her situation. And of course, Mr. Jeffrey Tavares, the same thing. So we're all here and people need to understand that we don't have to do this, we have to do it. We don't have to, we have to, because it's called giving back.
If you had the interest, I would tell you a 5-minute brief of
Go ahead.
Just talked about. Okay, let me tell you. Here is a little bit about my history. let me start with the death of my
Hold
father.
on a second. Jeffrey, put her up on center stage, man. We need to see this
Uh,
stuff.
Thank you.
Mm.
Let me start with the death of my father. It's a tragedy in any family when the father or the mother parent dies when the children are very young. And my father died when my sister was 6, my brother was 4, and I was 3. And my mother grieved because she had been married to my father only 7 years. And her story for the rest of her life until she died in her nearly 80, she maintained that when she was dying, she said that she was going to meet her husband, who was my father. So that tells you how she held him in esteem. So we didn't know of any other man besides the memory of our father. So she raised us. And she said she raised us on our knees. And I saw it because my mother prayed on her knees in the mornings and she prayed on her knees before she went to bed, right in front of her bed. One of these old time people who didn't believe in stand up prayers or sit down prayers, it had
Mhm.
to be on her knees. When I was in elementary school, just the year before was the first time when what we would call poor people picnic could go to high school in numbers.
Mhm.
50, 57 was the first set. Before then, only what we call Tapanari's children, and certainly there was a color business, brown and white and shiny. They got the places, but our people didn't get much opportunity to go to high school in Jamaica. At that time, believe it or not, there were just 9 scholarships for poor people children who were bright, who could get a scholarship to go to high school. 9. So the year before I went to high school was the first year that the government changed the system and created a system where a great deal of children, regular children, normal Jamaican children could go to high school. My headmistress at the time at my primary school came to my classroom and she called out the names of a set of children, including my name. Of course, you're very worried because when headmistress come to your class and call out your name, you assume that you've done something wrong. And the only thing wrong I ever did at the time that worried me was there was a lady who used to live close to the school and she used to quarrel a lot. So we called her Mother Pepper and used to run. So I thought they reported me, for calling her that. Anyway, it wasn't that. She announced that she was going to give us private lessons on her own time, zero cost, free, to prepare us for the next set of exams. And she did. I did the exam and I thought I did well. One day I was again in my classroom in primary school and I saw my mother running, running, running as she came into the classroom with tears running down her face. And she had a telegram and her words were, "Teacher, teacher, K get a scholarship."
Mm.
That's how my education started. And I ended up going to one of the best universities in the United States. You're in the US. I went to Northwestern University, which is a top university. I graduated summa cum laude. I ended up with a graduate degree. I ended up being vice president of the second largest ethnic company in the United States. And then I ended up being a global strategist for one of the major pharmaceutical companies. I have worked in over 30 countries, sent by my company to live and work in Europe, lived in France for 3 years, paid for by my company. All of this, Ebony Magazine named me among the top 100 Black women in corporate America. Got all kinds of awards. Now, And when I came back, when I retired, I decided that I wanted to come back to Jamaica to retire because I was living in Chicago and I did not want to retire in Chicago because of the weather.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran into Lester Spalding, who was chairman at the time, the late Lester Spalding. And he said, but Kay, we are trying to go global with Television Jamaica. Why don't you come and run it for us? Remember, I'm retired. And I thought, hey, that is a wonderful opportunity to give back. Took the job. When I looked at the screen, prime time after the news was nothing but American programs. Bold and the Beautiful came right after the news, which for me and you, ridiculous because that's a daytime soap
Mm-hmm.
and everybody cousin is doing somebody else. And I thought, no, this is crazy. This is very, very poor for role models for our people. We need to uplift our people. So I was able to recruit Jamaicans who had great positions in media, in that the BBC, CBS, ABC, and convince them to come back to Jamaica, form a team, because our decision was we were going to transform Television Jamaica into a local production company, putting Jamaicans on the screen, dealing with Jamaican issues. We did it. At the time, skeptics, everybody said sponsors wouldn't pay for it. Nobody wanted to see Jamaicans on screen. People would not watch. We didn't have this talent, the skills to do it right. We did, we box away all of that and we did it. We worked sometimes 16, 18 hours a day. There was a time when I spent 3 days at TBJ and did not leave and we didn't have a bed down there simply because we were so focused on doing what we were doing. We ended up with programs like Your Issues Live. Your Issues Live was a program where we sent reporters, a whole team, into poor people's communities to give poor people a voice, to hold their representatives, MPs, ministers, and so on, accountable. And we would invite the responsible people to come on stage and speak to the local people. And if they did not show up, we would have an empty chair and say, the minister refused to speak to the local people. So we ended up with those kinds of programs. We did All Together Sing, which brought back music in high school. We did The Contenders, which brought back boxing from the dead. But the Contenders shut down Kingston. We have Rising Stars that is still going. All Angles came out of that whole era. All Angles, as you guys know, is a program where people dissect, Deion Jackson Miller dissects local issues and on, Layers of Soul. For the first time ever, we brought in, I did, the major artists like Barris and artists like that. And we said to them, look, give us an evening of performance and we will give you a master and you will own the master. Never happened in Jamaica before.
Mm.
So we revolutionized television. For me, that is advocacy. That's advocacy on behalf of regular citizens. Payback going all the way back to my childhood. And look, people often taint you, try to paint you as being partisan. I called out myself. I called out when Mr. Golding became president of the PNP and it became clear that he had a UK passport. I was the advocate who came out publicly in the Gleaner and elsewhere and in media to say, no, no, no. If you want to run our country, you must carry a Jamaican passport and you cannot carry a British passport. We're trying to get rid of England. And Mr. Golden acquiesced and he got rid of his British passport. So we have I have advocated on both sides because the issues are fundamental to Jamaica. It is not pro or anti anybody or any color. It is pro Jamaica. So when we now say we stand for Jamaica, it is because we are at a crisis insofar as governance in this country. And the crisis is clearly demonstrated by how the government has handled this deportation deal, that up to now they have not come to Jamaica with a straight um, information about the deal. As a matter of fact, they didn't come to us at all about it. It is a gleaner that broke the story. The Gleaner found out about it and put it on their front page and said, hey, the government has signed this MOU with the United States. And the MOU says that they are wanting to bring 10,000 deportees from the United States. We will become a part of the third country arrangement where for the deportees whose country are unwilling to take them back, those people will be sent to Jamaica. Now, if the people's country don't want them back, why are they coming here? And what is in the deal for Jamaica is the question that everybody is asking. Look, diplomacy and deals with other countries, we do it all the time. But there's always a benefit on both sides. And our government has to pursue our interests in these negotiations. Where is our interest being served? We can't see it. And since the story has broken, the government has given us contradictory stories about what the deal is, what it isn't, and so on. It just makes no sense. For example, they talk about they want it, it's not a deal about deportees, they're recruiting foreign professionals. Okay, all right. You're recruiting foreign skilled workers. What kind of workers? Is it masons to come take the mason work? Is it carpenters to come take the carpenter work? Is it tourism workers to come displace our tourism people? Why didn't they advertise 10,000 openings for jobs? If they have 10,000, if they're recruiting 10,000 people from overseas, where are the 10,000 jobs here for them? Why didn't they go to the diaspora? And the diaspora have a lot of people like me who want to come back to Jamaica. Give the opportunity to the diaspora people and say, look, we have 10,000 positions here that we want to fill. Do you have the skills to fill it? Why you? So I don't understand. We just don't understand. Plus, they say that the deportees, the people who are coming, they can only stay for a very limited time. So how are you going to recruit people to work in your country, but they can only stay for 10 days? That
It's,
it just doesn't make any sense.
it doesn't make any sense, Kay. And I feel that it's because, they're not being honest.
Yes,
We deserve a government that's going to be honest to us. And let me take that a little bit further, Kay, if I may.
please.
Issue. I work here on the Refugee Council. I sat on the Refugee Council for Baden-Württemberg for about 6 years. We have our own friendship circle for refugees. So let us stop for a minute and think about what we're really talking about. So let's say the government is not being honest to us about this deal about who is coming. Are they deportees? Are they workers? But the main point we as a nation have to face, and from my standpoint as a human rights advocate, these are people, these are human beings. Whether they're deportees, whether they're pedophiles, whether they're skilled workers, whoever they are, it is going to need a system and a process and procedures for us to handle this whole thing in our country to make it be somewhat of a success. And
No,
that
no,
it,
no. Yeah, I hear you. But look, sorry to cut you. Look, Jamaica simply does not have the capacity to even screen the people. We
Right.
don't. We're gonna, if the government says that this person is a pastor, we do not have the capacity to look into it to see whether or not they are a pastor.
Right.
We simply don't have that capacity. In fact, some of these people likely don't have not provided correct information about who they are to the American people, to the American government. So if the American government has not been able to suss out who they are, how are we gonna do it? And then when they come, where do they go? Who sustains them? Who monitor them? Well, the minister said there'll be no monitoring. He's
Exactly.
saying they're gonna be let out in the society like Lego bees. Should we be afraid? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. So if we know, I mean, and I think it's because they don't know, or they know and they don't want to tell us. So all of that, and that's why there's a protest to say that you have to be with the people, right?
Well, look, here is the point. There is an MOU. The Gleaner has said they have a copy of it. They have released some of the information, which is the 10,000 and so on. The government is duty bound to provide the country through Parliament the details of the MOU, and the government is duty bound to provide us with details of the operational arrangements before the deal is finalized. That is the obligation to us because the government works for us. We are the government's employers. The government has done this in secret. That is not democracy. And now that the information has come out, up to now, with all of the turmoil, the government has refused to provide the information, even the MOU information to the public. We are demanding that we get that information. We must get it because the government, we the people, is who the government work for.
Yes, and they should.
And then when you link that, gentlemen and lady, and your audience especially, when you link that to the other two big issues of governance that has been brought to our attention again, is the accountant general has just released an audited statement that indicates that of the $1.44 billion that you people in the diaspora cash money sent to us in Jamaica, along with other foreign organizations, but a lot of it came from diaspora Jamaicans, stirred because of the suffering of our people. And now, 8 months after Melissa come and devastate people's lives, and people are still living under blue tarpaulin. And the Auditor General has confirmed that the government is hoarding the money and that only 2% of that money has been spent. Why? Why? Why?
You
That's
know,
not good governance.
You know, okay. Um,
Where is the care? Where is the care for the people? Is it a signal that you don't care? Because
Not
that is evidence, eh?
you know something, Miss Osborne and Rosemary and Wilfred Radigan. I'm happy that Miss Osborne touched on the diaspora and the money because we have been asking this question. time and time again on this program, a well-known Jamaican diplomat in the United States in South Florida here was seen handing over a 400,000 United States dollars check to Babsy Grange. That's 60 something million Jamaican dollars. And you hear nothing about it, Miss Osborne.
Well, that's the point. That is a part of what has come out. I don't know about the details of that, of course, but the Auditor General audited the funds and has revealed that only 2% of it has been spent. Why are they hoarding it? Of
Right.
course, there are
I'd love to say something about that. Um, Before, one of the things, but let me track back a little bit. I think that one of the real problems that we're having is Jamaica is a very reactionary country in a lot of ways, and we hope that they would react to things in a more timely manner. I remember in the diaspora that we had a conference in France, not this year, not was it last year? Because this year is the Global Jamaica. We had a conference, no, before last year. And one of the topics we wanted to focus on was disaster preparedness, management, and response, right? And that we fought to have that as one of the core things where we'd have discussions on with a plenary and so on. In fact, I had to rush through. I was heading that panel. We had to rush through because I had to make time for a sponsor to speak, right? So at that point, I was saying, this is such an important thing. We're prone to earthquakes. We're hurricane, a hurricane's sure to come at some point, and so on and so forth. And we wanted to work on that. No, when Hurricane Melissa occurred, we all knew from when we knew it was gonna hit, we started reacting here with fundraising and things like that. And I'm saying, I remember the question that was asked of the government: Are we ready? Are our shelters ready? Are we prepared, etc., etc. Now, this is something that happens, even if it's a public.
Hold on for me, Marie. Hold on for me, Marie. Rosemary, you're breaking up. I don't know what's going on. You're
Oh,
coming in a little bit choppy.
are you hearing me better now?
Yes, go ahead now.
I'm sorry about that. So even in our disaster preparedness, I don't know if it was that we were lying about it, but obviously our shelters were not strengthened enough, right? Which is something that should be priority. Okay, so let's say the shelters were not ready, and we said they were. We got the donation. No, I cannot get my head around it as to why wouldn't the money be spent to help the victims that it was intended for? One, is it because we were not organized to be competent enough to assess the disaster, to react to it in stages, so that we know what are we going to prepare first? Food, clothing, shelter, temporary, and then we move on to the other phases. We have a disaster preparedness office that they're quite capable. In fact, one of the leaders of this, who used to be the director, Mr. Ron Jackson, I think it was some time ago, he was actually hired by the United Nations to lead in disaster recovery and also management and preparation and so on in Geneva. But I guess we let him go. I hope I'm saying his name correctly, but I think it was Ron Jackson, because he was supposed to be he was on our panel. No, is it that we're incompetent? Is it that we're just holding on to the money? I literally think it's almost a crime.
actually, Rosemary, what the information that we're hearing here, and I haven't been able to verify it, but the information here is that the money is being held to run another election. That's what's being said here on the ground. Now, whether or not that is accurate, that the money. So, what we are saying is the money needs to be responsibly spent, and it must be spent on the victims of the hurricane.
And right.
That's our demand. That's our demand.
And so the
And
call, yes. So the call then Kay, that you guys are making, or that the protest for coming from this, is to say that we want accountability for this for these funds. We want to
not,
know
yeah,
how much
not
is
just
there and how much is
accountability.
coming
We
to the
want the no. We want the money to be spent on the victims, but and we want it to be spent responsibly. We don't
yes.
want the money to be hoarded. I mean,
Yes, of
it's
course
8 months. People are still under tarpaulins. And yeah, we ask why, and it is what it is now. But we're demanding that the money be released and but spent responsibly, not just squander it and throw it out there, but
not.
responsibly
Yes.
managed.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yes. Mr. Rattigan, oh, you come on, you want to ask Miss Osborne a question. My question to Miss Osborne is this. What prompted you to decide to have this protest? And will this protest be a one-off thing? Will it be a 9-day wonder?
But no, who knows really? The truth is that it came out of conversation. I'm a member of the Advocates Network, and we have had other protests. We protested when the queen's children came here and so on and so forth. And we're having conversations about the three big issues that I mentioned. And somehow it evolved into, but wait a minute, we just can't sit down and not do anything, and writing a letter to the editor or guest column don't make any sense. And then I said, you know something, I'll step up and do the work.
Yes.
And so it just really took one person, which was me, to
Yes.
say, you know, I will deal with this. And I started making phone calls, started
Yes.
writing, and people joined in immediately. And that's really what happened. But when people, of course, everybody got ambitious and they want to do Montego Bay and this, and I said, no, 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 no. The, the, having come out of corporate America, you know that you need to learn, you need to do a project, you need to learn from it and decide what you learn before you move on. And so we're gonna be looking at what went right, what went wrong, and see whether or not we have the capacity to replicate. So we're not going out with a whole strategy of all over the country. No, we're not. We're doing this as a
Focus.
pilot,
Mhm.
and we will learn from the pilot and make decisions. And we want to encourage other people to do exactly the same thing in the other part of the country.
Yes.
And also the other thing I want, I'm an old lady. I want young people to
Young
do
people.
this. I, I absolutely want young people to grab the baton and run and do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Take it. This is your country. You take the lead. And if you want to call me as a consultant, I'm willing to do it. I'll give you all the information that I have, that I learned in corporate America, that I learned working in 30 different countries. I will give you free advice. You run with it.
Yes. You know, Miss Osborne, you said something a while ago that reminds me of that gentleman there with his hand at his mouth. The man
Uh,
from Waterhouse. We call him our fearless leader.
right, right.
You know, when we started the protest here in the United States,
Mm.
he came up with the idea. And the first one we go back to the drawing board and we think and we say, well, can we do this? Can we do that way and this way? And you know, I like when you say that because it reminds me of how we stand up here in the United States against the corrupt government. And I say this already and I'll say it again. This administration is one of the most corrupt political administrations since independent Jamaica. And I will make no apology. Mr. Rattigan, over to you, sir. I have a question for Mr. Osborne. Unmute your mic, Mr. Rattigan. I'm not hearing you at all.
Can't hear it.
You mute my
Yes.
mic.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm Lord, right?
Yeah.
I can't win with you. No, Ms. Osborne, you made a point of saying that the government is in a pickle trying to explain the immigration deportation PCN deal that they have.
Mhm.
And it is my considered judgment that it's one agreement and they've provided two explanations because they cannot explain the one agreement. So
Yeah.
what they did, they come out and they said, well, we were talking about the structured migration program where we can get 10,000 and people are conflating that with the TCN where we're going to get 250. I say to them, poppycock, it's nonsense, it's BS. They had only one agreement and they came up with two explanations. How are we going to tell the people? Because the Gleaner revealed it. Because
Right.
before the Gleaner revealed it, we never heard anything about any structured migration program. And think about this. Why would Ambassador Audrey Marks be involved in a program, a labor program? We don't see
Exactly.
California. We don't see the U.S. Department of Labor. What we say?
Right.
Homeland Security. Homeland Security is in charge of immigration.
Right.
Why would Ambassador Audrey Marks, who's in charge of efficiency,
Right.
be involved in these meetings? And
Right.
we must not forget, some people come and say, well, I heard the Prime Minister say, well, you know, when she was as an ambassador, her job was to look at changing policy and to inform us. Again, another BS, because guess what? People, in 2024 was a watershed moment in American history. You know why? Because there was a general election in 2024. And when there's a general election, State Department don't get involved in no big deals or not like that with people.
Correct.
They don't know if they're going to be there after the election.
Correct.
They're more concerned, more focused on the election. The election took place in November 2024. Mr. Trump, President Trump, was inaugurated in January of 2025. Ambassador Audrey Marks left in March 2025.
Correct.
Between the election in November and January, they must shuffle that, try to figure out who going to go there, who going to go there. Between January and the time she left, people still are trying to figure out where the bathroom there because they have the appointed people that are coming, and State Department, they will not make a policy decision like this without having these new people know about it. You can't, that's not how it works, right?
Correct.
And I've said to people, I said, listen, I've sat at that table in Europe, in the Middle East, in the Far East, in Canada. I've sat at that table, the American embassy, and I said, let me tell you something, there are no equals when it comes to Jamaica and the US. And a senior politician I spoke with yesterday, senior member of the JLP, agreed with me. I said to him, this is how it works. The conversation would go something like this. Mr. Prime Minister, the Secretary of State and the President of the United States want this to be done, and they want it to be done within 60 days. The only thing you have to figure out, the only thing the Prime Minister figured, how can I get it done? There's no conversation about, well, we are an independent nation, we're a sovereign country, and you can't just come in and tell us that. No, there are no equals when America sit down with a country like Jamaica. You don't get a discussion, you get instructions. You are going to do this. One thing is that because of the trading relations, if America says we're not doing trade with Jamaica, we're finished. If America says we're going to increase the travel advisory, we're finished. And we must not forget that embassies are collection agencies. What do I mean by that? All of the politicians' them files. All of the politicians' files. I can tell you, all of the politicians' files are there. And so all they have to do with Mr. Holness is say, you remember this? And show him a couple of pictures, show him a couple transactions, show him a couple things, and all of a sudden him capitulate. But them didn't have to do that. Them just said, and especially given this administration, we not take no talk. If them come and say, listen, This is what it's going to be. That's it. So what happened is that we have Audrey Marks, Ambassador Audrey Marks. No meetings about structured migration plan. The first time we have Audrey Marks having a meeting, Ambassador Audrey Marks having a meeting, is December 2025. And where did she have that meeting? She had the meeting in Kingston. With whom? With members from the Defense Department of the United States and Homeland Security. She hosted that meeting. Where Audrey Marks a host meeting at talk about defense and law enforcement and immigration matters. And at the meeting, Kamina Johnson-Smith was noticeably absent. At the meeting, Minister Horace Chang was noticeably absent. At the meeting, Minister Pernell Charles Jr. noticeably absent. The next meeting was in March of this year in Florida. Who was at the meeting? Defense Department, Homeland Security. The Labor Department was never a party to these things. So when she's telling you about structured migration program, the only entity within the US government that you can have that meaningful discussion with is the Labor Department. And the Labor Department was noticeably absent in all of those meetings. So what they were talking about was this idea of Jamaica accepting deportees. I repeat, deportees. I hear Minister Chang twist up himself like a pretzel trying to distinguish between deportees and third country nationals. It is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's people that the US government said, we find these people to be undesirables, they're here illegally, and we want them out of our country. Now, here is something that is going to compound the problem in Jamaica. Just last week, the United States Supreme Court ruled that the government can deport people with temporary protected status, TPS. So they're talking about people from Syria, people from Venezuela, people from Cuba, people from Haiti.
Iraq, yes.
Yes. And remember now, Jamaica said, we only take those who speak English. Well, here's the thing, between the Venezuelans and the Haitians, I think it's over 300,000. And it would make sense for them to send the Haitians to Jamaica because of proximity. And them say, the ones who speak English, if we're going to accept people who speak English. And then you go. Now, this idea about transit, people don't let them fool you. How is it that you're going to have somebody transit through Jamaica to go to their home country or another country when you have non-stop flights leaving the US going to those countries? Why is Jamaica so significantly situated that you're going to have them fly to Jamaica and give them the privilege of filing for asylum? And Minister Chang said all time in mouth, him say the International Organization of Migration and the US government, they're paying for their stay. However, should they file for asylum and asylum is rejected, guess what, my people? Our country is now officially part of the TCN program.
Absolutely.
We're now supporting people.
Right.
And
But
where we're
not-
going to deport them to. And you know what they say? You know what Minister Chang said? He said, we will deport them at taxpayers' expense.
Right. But
Expense.
Will, one of the things we're also forgetting is that Jamaica does not have an asylum policy of our own.
We send
don't
people, we don't give people asylum, we send them back with them. Look what we do with the Haitians.
Look what we do. But that is what I'm also saying, and that's why I brought up the point that if these people are coming and they are gonna be coming, how are we? What we don't even know the true status. We don't even know, because that's the thing I thought about.
Mhm.
Them being refugees. What about the language thing? Who's gonna pay for their it's so many layers of stuff. Their health care, their school. Are they coming with children when they come here and they marry a Jamaican, or they decide, so many things have to be there to be worked out, that it's gonna be, there's gotta be a procedure, there's gotta be a system of how this is all gonna work, since we are gonna get them in I mean, you just said it, right? The prime minister was probably just was told, this is gonna happen. Okay, so it's gonna happen. What are we going to do? Is it going to be, and they need, our governing party needs then to come forward and be honest about it. And that's where the problem is. They're asking us, the other day I saw it was going to be people in transit, and that if you're in transit, then you're on your way to somewhere else, and that is within a particular period of time. So you got to establish that, right? Which they can't. If you're a deportee and we're the accepting nation, who's going to handle all that cost now? Are they people who have committed crimes? What are these crimes? Why aren't they being, you know what I'm saying? Are they going to be just open in our society? None of that. And so it goes back to it. Just like our Jamaica was saying, we always do it all the time, through this government, I think, and our people accept it somehow. You remember when we couldn't find
One
several,
second, could I allow me to just say this? Unfortunately, on the hour, I have a meeting has already been set up at my house, and I have to prepare. So I'm gonna have to leave shortly.
Okay,
But if you will just allow me to just make a point about the other reason why we're protesting, which has to
please.
do with the Dr. Wheatley matter. Let me just comment on that, and then I'm gonna have to leave because I have to prepare for this meeting, and people are gonna be meeting at my house. The third reason we're protesting is the Jamaica is a democracy, and there are pillars of democracy, as you would know, and you're very smart, informed audience would know that there are certain institutions that form the foundation of the democracy, that these institutions must work unhindered in order for the democracy to work, like the justice system has to be unhindered by interference and so on. The Integrity Commission is one of the pillars of our democracy. It was set up, in fact, our Prime Minister, our current Prime Minister, drove it to a very great extent. He supported it. And so that's a good thing. We have the Integrity Commission, and the Integrity Commission is charged with ensuring that the officials, among other things, the officials who manage our affairs, that they're not corrupt and that they are managing our affairs in good faith, and that corruption does not cause them to harm the country. Now, the Integrity Commission, how the whole thing works is the Integrity Commission does its investigations. It comes up with a report based on its investigations. It has investigators as lawyers and all of that. And then they put out a report on Dr. Wheatley, and the report says Dr. Wheatley has $164 million worth of assets that he himself cannot account for. And that based on their investigation, he has provided the Integrity Commission with false information, which is chargeable. You can be charged for it because you're supposed to provide proper information or it hinders the work of the commission. And so they have recommended that Dr. Wheatley be criminally charged for what I just indicated. However, when that happened, when that kind of report comes out and there is that recommendation, what happens in a functional democracy is the person steps down, they walk away from the job. In this case, Mr. Wheatley's in the cabinet, he would walk away. Or if he doesn't, immediately, the prime minister would put him aside, put him out of the cabinet, put him out of government, essentially, until the process is completed through the justice system and a decision is made about guilty or not based upon the evidence. We all believe in innocent until proven guilty because that is the system we work under. But but the system is not going to work if a report like that can come out and the Prime Minister can simply say to the country, well, despite all of this evidence, despite the process, the proper process being that he ought to put Mr. Wheatley out of the cabinet, out of government, and have him stand aside until the whole matter is resolved in a court of law, instead of doing that which is right and proper under democracy. The Prime Minister put out a statement that says he has full confidence in Mr. Wheatley. Well, that can't be the end of it. I mean, he's not king, he's not king. And it cannot be that he has full confidence in his friend, his childhood friend, Mr. Wheatley is his childhood friend, and that becomes the end of it. No, our democracy doesn't stand on that. Our democracy is not based on whether or not the Prime Minister has full confidence in his friend and keep him in the cabinet. Our democracy says that the right and proper thing to do is to have him step aside and allow the process to work. And that is what we're demanding, that that process be allowed to work, that the Prime Minister demand, well, he can't demand it again because the gentleman remains here. He needs to terminate the relationship with the government, because now we can't, it raises a question of trust. It raises a question of accountability. It raises a question of governance. It raises a question of, why are you protecting corruption or the appearance of corruption? Why are you shielding this gentleman from having to face the process, the due process? That is how this country works. So a part of why we're demonstrating, a part of why we're protesting, is to say that the government and the Prime Minister cannot stand.
Miss hold on, go ahead, Mr. Artigan. Go ahead, Mr. Artigan.
Quickly, Miss Osborne. What the Prime Minister actually said when he said he enjoys my full confidence, he said the work that he's doing, he enjoys my full confidence. Right. And then he went on to say, I am going to leave this interview now with Cliff Hughes, and I'm going to have a meeting with him, and then we will talk about what's going. Well, we haven't heard anything since then. And
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, he's got confidence in the work he's doing. And then he didn't answer the question directly about having confidence in him, as part of your cabinet, what's going on. And the second thing is, Minister Chang took great pains to point out week before last that the average income of Jamaicans is $7,000 per annum. So I want to ask Minister Chang if he's watching. Minister Chang, talk to me about the structured migration program where you're bringing experts, and you're bringing all of these people with what we call them, all of these specialized people. You bring them to Jamaica. You think, Minister Chang, that a doctor making $250,000 in the United States is going to leave and come to Jamaica, come work for $80,000? You think a dentist, a nurse, the nurses, them who make Gillopway, gone. You think you can bring them back to Jamaica and pay them the 20% increase? We're going to pay all of the civil servants. People who don't need to wake up and listen to what these people are saying. He said $7,000. Nobody's coming back to Jamaica. And you know what? I want to thank the Prime Minister for stop spewing that garbage about Jamaica's unemployment rate is the lowest it's been in history, because he knows that from January 2024, the methodology used to measure unemployment in Jamaica. It's quite different from that before.
Correct.
And it said that you cannot compare them. You can the lowest since January 2024, but not the lowest in the history of Jamaica. Yes. I want to thank you. Go ahead.
I have to go. There are people at my gate.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Mr. Osborne, I want to say thank you for coming on. As I'm already going to say, but my question before you go, is it going to be streamed live that I can bring it live on my platform and other people can see the diaspora?
I'm the
Yeah, I can
convener,
use your
but I don't
phone.
know. Different people have different responsibilities. I'll send you a note on it because that's not
Please,
a part of what I have been dealing with. Somebody else is dealing with that. The-
please.
Um, I don't know. I will get back to you on that.
Appreciate it. Want to say, Mr. Rattigan, you want to do the vote of thanks?
Miss Osborne, it's been our pleasure and privilege to have you on, and we look forward to having you on soon. And we wish you much success tomorrow.
We're not hearing you. Okay, what's going on here? We're not hearing you at all. We're not hearing you. I think you had a call that came in or something. We're not hearing you. Are you mute? Maybe you mute your mic. Not hearing her at all. We have just lost all feed with Miss Osborne. Okay, we want to just tell her thanks for coming on. We have lost all feed with her. Mr. Rattigan, over to you, sir.
Yeah, hey, Rose, them people who call themselves government are some dangerous people, because they the and it's because of the Jamaican voters again. They gave them the mandate. What is it? 30 something, less than 30 something percent of the eligible voters voted. And I think it forgot the percentage of that 30 something percent that actually voted for the government. But you can actually see that it's a very small percentage that has given this government the mandate to do things for the majority. And so you have to look at the people who didn't vote. And we have to try and reach out to those people and say, listen, you need to come out and vote. This is your Jamaica as well. And it's not, this up for the whole away. And you really don't have an argument if you don't vote and then you try and complain later on. It's moot. I mean, you have to vote. And yes, we don't have two parties, we have three parties, but essentially we only have two parties. But you already know what one of them is doing because it's been there since 20. You not hear me? We can't hear you, Rose.
We're hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't hear Rose.
Hold on there.
The host muted my mic.
But who was I deal
I
with?
did. I know I didn't do it. I didn't.
That's the message I'm getting, that the host,
Yeah, that's the same
I
message I got too.
that yes, it says the host muted your mic. Will, that thing that you said about the people going out to vote, I think it's a two-way thing, because we've had it so in Jamaica that there are many people who feel like it doesn't matter who they vote for, the whole system is not working for them. You know
Mm,
what I mean? It's
right.
almost like they feel disconnected from it. And so I think one of the ways that we can, and I keep saying it, let government also be working for the people. Let people feel like it doesn't have to be so hard, everything. So some people say, you know what, I just try to concentrate on how I can get by. You know what I mean? So we
Right.
have to convince them again that you have a voice. And it matters when you vote, it matters how you vote, it matters that you're part of the process. Um, and there's certain things that happens when you're not a part of that. Then you
I
don't
agree.
get to express, you don't get to make that choice. The other thing is the two-party system. I think it is not working well for Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
Two political
People have
gangs.
lost, yes, they really need other options. I'm looking at my charger here. Yeah. That's why I had to leave a little bit before to go and do it. So I think even in this protest and so on, it might re-energize um people to feel like they can achieve something. Maybe our government will listen. But the point I wanted to make before Kay left was that when you're not honest and you try to spin things, you really make the Jamaican people feel like you think they're idiots, because all of a sudden, either it was deportees, then it's people in transit, then it's skilled workers, then it's and it keeps going all over the place, and everybody is just to say, just take your word for it. How can that be when you can't trust? Trust. There's an article out today, I think it was was it in Cleaner, about trust in our government, or trust in the system, right? That it does matter. I do not know if you remember the time when it was found out that there were a couple of $1 million that were not accounted for. Do you remember the language, the semantics that was used? Because it couldn't be accounted for, didn't necessarily mean that it was spent. It could be that it wasn't spent, it was spent, but they need to account for it. But it's almost like it's there floating somewhere. And people, actually, there was no big protest against it. People just accepted it, right?
I have
Because we accepted and we move on. So I feel like it's almost like, let's see how far, let's see how much, the Jamaican people can take before they demonstrate, before they protest, before they say enough is enough.
um look, you've made some excellent points. You're right. You're right. And I couldn't agree with you more about trying to get the non-voters, the eligible non-voters, to get them to cast their vote, to get them interested in the process again, because um, they haven't realized the prosperity, the promised prosperity, and so they've looked at what was before 2016, and they've looked at what has happened since 2016. My only advice to them is this: look at from 2016 until now, and look at the various promises that you've received, and look at what has materialized. And if it's one of those things where you have to hold your nose and vote for somebody else, then that's fine. But to continue supporting something that you know is definitely not in your best interest, then to me that's madness. That's madness. If you only have two parties that you say, okay, only two we can vote for, and one has been in power for 10 years and we haven't realized our dreams, right? Then fine. But part of that, you say, is because we're licky. We have created the system. I tend to share the view that we have created the system within which we live. And here's what I mean by that. During the election cycle, you can see a politician if you want to know. If 50 of you on the street say, go to the council, who wants to see the politician, election is coming up and we want to talk to him. The politician would, wild horses could not keep that politician away. That politician is going to make it to see you and give you that audience, and you're going to get some promises. And what happens after the election? You hear from him again.
Right. But Will, we have to also be very careful, right? As an advocate, my push is that people do get involved in the election process and exercise their right to vote. I implore people to get information, find out what's going on, listen to the people you think you're going to be voting for, and so on. Our job, and from my standpoint, I'm saying that's your decision who you vote for, but be a part of the process
Mm-hmm.
and try to be informed. And if you're in the process, then you can get to see, over the years and over time, did the person I choose deliver? Because it's the same thing in the United States, and however, people are gonna vote for whatever reason and how they vote. But in a democracy, we're hoping that they're making an informed decision. And it's a process, right? Some people just vote for because madam, my father, and whoever, we are Republicans or we're whatever. That's just how we vote. Or somebody will say, me just like him. I
Right.
me just like her. Me not too know too much about, but if you're in the process and you're actively taking part in the process, and you still want to know what going in the process, and you see, it's to also become actively involved, because it's about you. and you do have a say and a voice. So on the one hand, the most important thing for me is that people get involved in the process, and the more people that get involved in the process, and the more that you are involved, I think then that matters, right? But when the government sees that it's 25% or 35%, there's low voter turnout, primarily because maybe people are just disillusioned, or they're not informed enough before elections, when people say they're promising and so on and so forth. Do they explain it? Do they have town halls where they explain what they're doing? Have they kept their promises over the years for someone to say, okay, this one they didn't keep it the last time, this time I'm not going to give them the chance, etc., etc. But get involved in the process, and
Well,
that's where I think there is a disconnect.
here's where I've said many, many times that, and I believe it, that I don't care who you vote for. Just make sure you vote for
Yes.
your best interest, your family, your family, community, and by extension, Jamaica. But here's the thing, that is before the voting. I say that. Now, once the
Mhm.
voting has taken place, then you start look at, okay, how did we get to where we are? One is
Mhm.
you're saying that people need to get informed, they need to have town halls, they need to listen to the promises being made, the promises that were made, were they kept. They need to listen to the policies and all of that. But
Yes.
they don't. Them listen to this. A two-piece chicken and 5, 10,000, whatever it is. That is what them listen to. That's
Right. Because, Will, and you know it, the two-piece chicken and the 10,000 wouldn't matter if they had something to eat, or if I was just becoming licky licky. I just feel that it's a needs, and I feel that there allegedly are governments and politicians who keep the people hungry, so that when they come and make these offers, right, it's a great incentive. Imagine if that was not the case,
what
where
what
people,
But Rose, how could a two-piece chicken and 10,000 Jamaican dollars be incentive for you to vote for somebody who are gonna get millions now over the course of 4 to 5 years, and will make you all promises from here to the moon, and you know that from the last time they promised you, they didn't fulfill those promises, and they come back now and you repackage the same promises, and you go ahead and do it. You go ahead and say, yeah, me I go give him another chance. I'm gonna give him another chance.
totally incredulous, but it happens, right? So there's that's where that connection, or where that disconnect is, because I see people online saying, "Cho, I'm not gonna bother with Jamaicans, unu vote a funu fault," or whatever, you know what I mean? So there's this apathy, or there's this, like, oh, you made that decision, just like how they'll probably say about Americans who don't like their government, or any country they don't like government. That's what you voted for, etc. It is incredulous that that happens, that vote buying can happen, or the alleged occurrence of it happens. But our governments also owe it to us, when they are in power, to understand that they are the government for all the people. And I just feel that there's not that love. We don't have enough love for our Jamaican people. We do not have enough love and care for our people, because maybe greed has taken over. I don't know, but it has to be at the heart of any government. The well-being of the people they are serving. And it works in many countries, where it is not the enrichment. To be a politician in our country is a way of enriching yourself somehow, however you do it, right? You go into politics and you make money, or maybe you go into politics to make money, whereas there are other countries where that's not the case. When I look at a country like even Denmark, Sweden, wherever, those people don't even drive government cars unless they have visitors. They don't tax the state that much. We are a very top heavy government. I mean, when you look at the biggest employer in Jamaica, right? Isn't it the government, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Where
government.
we
Yeah,
exactly.
public servants, yeah.
Right. So where we we're so I mean, it's all of that that we have to take into consideration, right? Um, the level and the level of existence of our people, the care of our people. How do they have to have hard lives? Does it have to be so difficult? Do our children have to struggle so much? I don't think they should have to, because I hear about the billions of dollars we're making from tourism. I hear about how we're prospering. I hear about, and every time I hear how much we're prospering, and I look at all the children and all the schools that we're helping to fix, and it's back to school time, and everybody have to throw together, if you put back to school package together, and all them kind of stuff. And so it's almost like there's this constant stress, to really, we have to fill the gap everywhere. When, let's look at it, there's some of us who are still helping Melissa victims when there are millions of dollars sitting down that was donated for that. You know what I'm saying? And there's still some of us doing fundraising events. We just had a meeting about some events we're planning here to continue to help Melissa victims that we've been helping. Think about that. And plus, we're doing our jobs, but it's Jamaica. It's the love we have for our people, right? And I would love if our government somehow could have that love and respect for our Jamaican people, and that Jamaicans themselves could work towards developing more of that respect for themselves, their fellow Jamaicans also, because we're not going to get out of this without coming to that next level. It's almost like we need to establish and work on that new level. I've said it before. It's almost like of patriotism. Because I'm Jamaican, I'm not going to hurt you, because we have to work together. We want to survive. That level, and sort of like get rid of the greed. We have to, it's a process, right? It's not gonna happen overnight. But a big part of it is standing together, because it's back to this protest, right? We are demanding respect, we are demanding accountability, we are demanding that the level of integrity is you know we have to increase the level of integrity, and we need transparency in government, as it relates to our affairs and what's happening to us.
Yes. Yes.
And the diaspora also suggests that. I've talked to many people. There's just so much that we, as we were at a Jamaica link up this weekend with Germans, and I do not think that most Jamaicans understand that we're one of the most famous, most admired, most loved, most celebrated cultures. We have so much talent. We have so much going for us. But it seems like these talents and these great things and attributes that we have, we are not able to monetize. We are not able to maintain the value of it, and make our people benefit from it. Just like tourism, right? We're supposed to be making so much from tourism. Why can't people feel a part of the tourism product, that they're benefiting from us? I mean, across the board, right? Some people are benefiting, but
Yes.
for the man in the street, with his coconut shop or whatever. So when everybody getting a little bit of the spoils, then we don't have to accept that $10 or them chicken back and whatever at voting time. So it means that our
Mhm.
lives and our livelihoods can be maintained, right? And
Yes.
and there's enough there, but it's just that some people want too much, I think.
Hmm. I want to, as it is now 18 after 10 o'clock in the United States. What
Wow,
time is it in
yes.
Germany?
It's 18 minutes after 4.
In the morning.
Yes.
Wow. We're listening and watching from around the world, and the Eastern Caribbean is the Make We Talk program, a program in which a lot of people love to listen to. And we have our co-host Wilfred Radigan from Regent Radigan, and our sister from out of Germany, one of Jamaica's outstanding an outspoken person for this country we call Jamaica. I want to play the video, then we go back and chat about for 2 more minutes so we can wrap up. I want to play this video before we go on for the next 2 minutes. This video here.
Great.
Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston,
I
parking there
can't
at
hear
the
it.
Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now.
Is it me or there's no volume on it?
Are you hearing it, Mr. Rattigan? I
Okay,
think
maybe
something's wrong with you with your thing then.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe I
I
can't
can
hear.
hear. I can hear it.
Okay, hold on.
Jamaica, listen good. This one
But it doesn't
urgent.
matter as long as
Tomorrow
the
morning,
guests are
Tuesday,
hearing
June
and
30th,
those
the
on
people of
yeah.
Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now. 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds, where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow. Come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering.
One of Jamaica's beautiful anthem of all times. You know, before we go offline, I want to say this to everyone who is listening to the sound of my voice. From beyond the shores of Jamaica and Jamaicans in the diaspora, this protest, it's not a protest of the PNP for the PNP, of the JLP for the JLP, no. It is a protest of the people, for the people, and by the people. Come out in your yellow, not in any orange or any green. Come out in your yellow, a part of the Jamaican flag. Jamaica come first, not PNP nor JLP. This protest is sponsored by the people, for the people, and of the people. This protest has nothing to do with the Jamaica Labour Party or the People's National Party. Rose, over to you then, Mr. Rattigan.
Yes, thank you very much. And I would like to say again, thanks to the organizers of the protest, thanks to the Advocates Network that we decided to support this protest. Remember, again, we're looking for good governance, integrity, transparency in government, and we are asking everyone to make sure that it's going to be a peaceful protest. That is the intention, and that together we can make a statement that Jamaicans need to be respected, and we want accountability from our government, and that they treat us with respect because they work for us. So I'm wishing everyone a great day tomorrow. It's already today for me. But this country that we love so much, I implore my government, our Jamaican government, to listen to what the protesters are saying, listen to them, because they're doing this because they care. They care about Jamaica, their country, and our democracy. And it is their right to protest.
Mr. Rattigan, a man
Yes.
who we have organized protests here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
We have said that it's full time the Jamaican people do something. This is the time for the Jamaican people to rally around a single cause and a single purpose. This is the time for the Jamaican people to stand up. This is the time for the Jamaican people to get up. Not because one artist is let out of jail. Wanna take to the streets. Take to the streets now for your children, and for a better Jamaica. Wilfred Radigan, over to you.
Yeah, Mr. Osborne said that there is no long-term plan for a sustained effort, that tomorrow is going to be like a barometer. It's going to
Yes.
use it to measure where do we go forward. Well, I'm hoping that there will be more protests, because if you remember, Mr. Tavares, when we did ours, we weren't concerned about numbers. We said if we get the numbers, we're fine, but at least if we have people out there with signs, if we have 10 people, and in fact, I even said one time, if we have only one person out there, we're satisfied, because we're standing up and letting the government know that we're dissatisfied with everything that's going on. And you know what they say? They say silence is consent. And if you're silent about things that are affecting you, they're going to continue doing it. Power doesn't yield. You have to wrest things from power. And one of the ways you do it is by public proclamation. And so we're going out there tomorrow. And I say we, because physically I won't be there, but I will be there in spirit.
Yes, spiritually.
And I'm hoping that it will be televised or streamed so that we can actually watch. But Jamaican people, all of you who support what we're doing, I'm asking you to go out and support this endeavor tomorrow, because this is a watershed moment in the history of Jamaica. And as Jeffrey said, it's not only about you, it's about your children and your children's children. We need to let the government know that, as Advocates Network would have said, let them say, we now ease up, right?
We now ease up.
Right.
We now
Now
ease
ease
up.
up. Right. And so I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. Please, 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 my people, go out and support it, because what I'd love for you to do, I'd love for you to have a nice crowd, so that Miss Osborne and people like Rose and the rest of the organizers, that they can say, you know what, we need to have this somewhere else. And at the same time, we need to inspire people to have it themselves. Because I'm telling you, once this catch on like wildfire, there's no turning back, and the government will have to take stock and decide what they're going to do. Right now, they don't have to decide anything. They just continue just doing what they're doing. There's no options and concerns about the public. So I want to thank Mr. Tavares for having me on. Rose, it's a pleasure seeing you again. We know we kept you up late, but it's well worth it, and we don't do it too often. So
Right. Anything for Jamaica, anything to make
Yes.
sure that
right.
people's voices
So
are heard.
right. So with that, folks, tune in. Tomorrow night I'll be on Mystic, but Wednesday night we're gonna have a special show, because Wednesday night on Come Reason with Rattigan, we're gonna focus on this old TCN business, and we're gonna give you a timeline, and we're going to provide you with documents, we're going to provide you with videotapes, and we're going to show you that the government lied to you, and the government continues to lie. And you see, the problem, the beauty about telling the truth is that you don't have to remember what you said. Them can't remember what them said because them a lie, and we're going to give you clear and convincing evidence of the lies. So tune in on Wednesday, 7 o'clock New York time, which is 6 o'clock Jamaica time, for Come Reason with Rattigan. We're going to dedicate the whole program to this TCN, deportee, structured migration, whatever they want to call it. We are going to break it down for you so that you understand that there's only one plan, but they have many explanations. And that's what they're trying to divert you from looking at the plan. So they want to give you different explanations. It's not going to work. We're going to show you. So again, Jeffrey, thanks for having me. Rose, bless up yourself, bless up yourself, bless up yourself.
And I'd like to say quickly, Jeffrey, thank you too for having me. And Will, thank you so much to both of you for what you do to make sure that people, all over the world and your listeners online can also get the chance, to talk, to hear different views. Thank you so much for what you do.
As we go off, I want to say thanks to Miss Kay Osborne from former managing director of Television Jamaica, general manager of Television Jamaica. I sit here and I'm saying to myself, if it's not now, then when? If it's not now, my good friend Will, then when? Rose Marie, if it's not now, then when? This is the time for all of us. And I ask Jamaicans on the sound of my voice from Negril Point to Moran Point, from Galena Head Mountain to Blue Mountain Peak to Drunker Head Mountain Peak to Dolphin Head Mountain, get up. Go out there and let your voice be heard. It is time for us in Jamaica to stop depending on the diaspora. Get up and go out there. You are feeling it. If we come down here, we can feel it. Imagine you who are feeling it down there. Don't be afraid. Nanny of the Maroon wasn't afraid. Taki wasn't afraid. Paul Bogle wasn't afraid. Sham Sharp wasn't afraid. None of these forefathers ours wasn't afraid. And I go beyond the shores of Jamaica. The late Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't afraid. Malcolm X wasn't afraid. Harriet Tubman wasn't afraid. Come on, Jamaicans. Go out there and fight for a better Jamaica for our children. See you at 7:30. I'm in the heart of Crossroad, standing up for Jamaica. Until you hear my voice again, on behalf of Wilfred Radigan, Rosemary, Kay Osborne, I'm Jeffrey Tavares saying so long. May God bless you. And may God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. I'll call you later, Ratty. Rose, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Rose, take care.
Yes, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now, 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds, where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow, come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering.
10 years, you say. 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food pan we plate. People are suffer while Andrew a live great. Hey, hey. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through and left the people bare. 6 months later, them still out there, asleep under the air. Their JLP friends them build high rise, road still full of wood. House pocket to a field, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, picnic can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you and Juliet well fed. You always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in a politics we ever see. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not on the door. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness, time to go. Farmer can't afford to plant, food price reach the sky. You're bringing the poverty while your own people cry. We born ya, we grow ya, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top won't extend the man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan, but 10 years later we still can't understand. Corruption report London, nobody charge. The people pocket small, but the scandal them large. Who's crack up parish council, bro? Country suffocate, done and it just smoke. And when we raise the voice so call we political, but the truth is the truth and the truth is biblical. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. The people, them say no. We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not on the door. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness, our time to go. We no want no hype, we no want no speech. We want action, no, not the lies you preach. Hurricane victims still under tarpaulin. Prime Minister fly gone foreign. Your JLP cabinet full, but the people COVID empty. How you live so large when we living so scanty? Not with fists, not with fire, but with voice them rising higher and higher. From every parish, every yard, every gate, Jamaica speaking and I know too late. Time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not on the door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Oh yes, our time to go. This one is for every Jamaican. We can't afford feet. We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road. The people don't forget. The people don't forgive. Enough is enough. Jamaicans will live.
Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston. Parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now. 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds. Where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow. Come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering. Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston. Parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now. 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds. Where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow. Come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering.
Ten years, you say. 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food pan we plate. People are suffer while Andrew a live great. Hey, hey. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through and left the people bare. 6 months later, them still out there, asleep under the air. Their JLP friends, them build high rise, road still full of hope. House pocket to a fill, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, picnic can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you and Juliet well fed. You always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in a politics we ever see. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. The people we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know, hear us. We are not on the door. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Legril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness, time to go. Farmer can't afford to plant food, price reach the sky. You bring in the poverty while your own people cry. We born ya, we grow ya, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top won't extend the man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan, but 10 years later we still can't understand. Corruption report London, nobody charge. The people pocket small, but the scandal them large. Who's crack up parish council, bro? we raise the voice so call we political, but the truth is the truth and the truth is biblical. Always time to go. Time to go. The people, them say no. We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more. You no hear us. We are knock on the door. Always time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Always our time to go. We no want no hype, we no want no speech. We want action, no, not the lies you preach. Hurricane victims still under tarpaulin. Prime Minister fly gone foreign. Your JLP cabinet full, but the people cupboard empty. Oh, you live so large when we live in so scanty. Not with fists, not with fire, but with voice them rising higher and higher. From every parish, every yard, every gate, Jamaica speaking and I know too late. Time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not on the door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Always our time to go. This one is for every Jamaican. What can't afford feet? We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road. The people don't forget. The people don't forgive. Enough is enough. Jamaicans will live.
Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now, 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds. Where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow. Come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering.
Ten years, you say. 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food pan we plate. People are suffer while Andrew live great. Hey, hey. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through and left the people bare. 6 months later, them still out there, asleep under the air. Their JLP friends them build high rise, road still full of hope. House pocket to a field, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, picnic can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you and Juliet well fed. You always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in a politics we ever see. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not on the door. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness, time to go. Farmer can't afford to plant food, price reach the sky. You bring in the poverty while your own people cry. We born ya, we grow ya, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top won't extend the man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan, but 10 years later we still can't understand. Corruption report London, nobody charge. The people pocket small, but the scandal them large. Who's crack up parish council, bro? Country suffocate, done and it just smoke. And when we raise revise so call we political, but the truth is the truth and the truth is biblical.
Always time to go.
Time to go. The people,
Them say no.
we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you no hear us. We are knock on the door.
Always time to go.
Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Always our time to go. We no want no hype, we no want no speech. We want action, no, not the lies you preach. Hurricane victims still under tarpaulin. Prime Minister fly gone foreign. Your JLP cabinet full, but the people cupboard empty. How you live so large when we live in so scanty? Not with fists, not with fire, but we voice them rising higher and higher. From every parish, every yard, every gate, Jamaica speaking and I know too late.
Always time to go.
Time to go. The people,
Them say no.
we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not by the door.
Always time to go.
Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Oh yes, our time to go. This one is for every Jamaican. What can't afford feet? We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road. The people don't forget. The people don't forgive. Enough is enough. Jamaicans will live.
Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston. Parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now. 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds. Where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow. Come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering.
I pledge my heart forever to serve with humble pride. This shining homeland ever
10 years, you say. 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food pan we plate. People are suffer while Andrew a live great. Hey, hey. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through and left the people bare. 6 months later, them still out there, asleep under the air. Your JLP friends them build high rise, road still full of wood. House pocket to a fill, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, picnic can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you and Juliet well fed. You always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in your politics we ever see. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not on the door. Wholeness, time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness, time to go. Farmer can't afford to plant food, price reach the sky. You're bringing the poverty while your own people cry. We born ya, we grow ya, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top won't extend the man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan, but 10 years later we still can't understand. Corruption report London, nobody charge. The people pocket small, but the scandal them large. Who's crack up parish council, bro? Country suffocate, done and it just smoke. And when we raise the voice, so call we political, but the truth is the truth and the truth is biblical. Time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not on the door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness, our time to go. We no want no hype, we no want no speech. We want action, no, not the lies you preach. Hurricane victims still under tarpaulin. Prime Minister fly gone foreign. Your JLP cabinet full, but the people covered empty. Oh, you live so large when we live in so scanty. Not with fists, not with fire, but with voice them rising higher and higher. From every parish, every yard, every gate, Jamaica speaking and I know too late. Time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not on the door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Wholeness, our time to go. This one is for every Jamaican who can't afford feet. We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road. The people don't forget. The people don't forgive. Enough is enough. Jamaicans will live.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense. just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people.
Jamaica, listen good. This one urgent. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, June 30th, the people of Jamaica stand up. Not for one party, not for politics, for accountability. We're gathering at Crossroads, Kingston, parking there at the Carib Cinema 2 lots. The time, 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But hear me now, 7 a.m. is the start, not the finish line. This is a rolling presence all morning. So if you can only give 30 minutes, come give your 30 minutes. Every single presence count. We're asking the hard questions. The deportee deal, the Hurricane Melissa funds, where the money gone? Accountability. Because no one is above the law. Wear yellow, come peaceful. Just Jamaicans who love the country too much for stay silent. Jamaica belongs to the people, so make we stand up together. Crossroads, tomorrow, 7 a.m. We see you there. Organized by the civil society, not by any political party. This is a peaceful gathering.